A little bit more about one very serious issue surrounding the pandemic. The U.S. Surgeon General has issued a new advisory on a growing youth mental health crisis.
Peer-reviewed journal The Lancet says mental health issues were magnified by the pandemic.
The disruption and uncertainty caused by COVID-19 over the past 15 months has left workers suffering stress and exhaustion.
The U.S. Surgeon General is sounding the alarm about a worsening mental health crisis among young people.
The COVID-19 pandemic took the world by storm in 2020, yet that is not the only pandemic facing us today. Since 2018, Broward County has been facing a deadly pandemic, one that does not make people visibly ill, but instead silently kills. After the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas on February 14, 2018, our community has been forever changed. The gunman, who was not in his right mind, was able to impact the lives of many and mark the start of the real pandemic, causing gradual mental health deterioration of many. Our hearts grew heavier to this growing pandemic as just 1 year later in 2019, two students, Alexis Marion, a 17-year-old junior, and Bryce Gowdy, a 17-year-old senior, at Deerfield Beach High School died from apparent suicides during separate events in just 2 months.
Hi, this is Nora Rupert. I'm your District 7 school board member, and why it's important that I'm here today, and this is not my very first time. This is actually my 4th or 5th time doing a town hall for mental health and stress, because we're losing too many kids, death by suicide. We're losing kids with overdoses. People are getting sick by vaping, and the students don't understand how very serious it is. So I thought, you know what, an informed student body can change everybody's lives, because when the truth is out there, then hopefully that one person won't get addicted to vaping or oxy, and will talk if they're having mental health issues. So I'm just here to get the word out and to, basically represent you guys on the panel.
From Abby Dangman from PSO.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Good evening, everybody. My name is Abby Danneman, and I am a substance abuse educator at Broward Sheriff's Office. And I am very happy to have the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of an urgent matter that's happening right now. Every day here in Pompano Beach, we have between 2 to 3 overdoses every day due to a deadly drug called fentanyl. All right, everybody, I want you all to see up here. This is accurate data from the Florida Medical Examiner's Office, and just to show everybody recurring, everything that's yellow highlighted, this is somebody that overdosed. It was related to fentanyl. So if anybody is aware, this is all accidental overdoses here in Pompano Beach, here in our county, Broward County. The individual thought that they were taking their drug of choice, let's just use as an example cocaine, but there's no such thing as any form of a drug in its natural form anymore. It contains some form of fentanyl or fentanyl analog. Now, if you are prescribed a medication by your attending physician and you get it filled at a local pharmacy, I want you to know that type of a drug is safe, prescribed by your physician. But if you are purchasing drugs from a neighbor or from the streets, be aware that drugs are laced with a deadly form of fentanyl. Thank you. And ways to prevent overdose. Carry naloxone or Narcan with you. And if you need to know where you don't have to purchase Narcan. We have so many community centers or agencies that readily hand it out.
My daughter, who is 24 now, her best friend, Jamie, died of an overdose when she was in middle school. And my daughter has a J on her wrist, and so every day she thinks of her best friend. And she could have been saved if there was Narcan, but there wasn't any around.
I have one job, and that's to save lives. I signed up many, many years ago to protect and serve our community, as many of you in this room have. And I'm tired of going to overdose death sites of 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. I like to call it ambassadors, we can sit down, student ambassadors. We need people like you to help us stop this scourge in our county. You folks, you young people are the ones who can prevent this from happening by being brave, being courageous, talking to older people, talking to your school resource officer, to your teachers when you see something that you don't think is right.
It is very frustrating to see what is happening right now, especially when it comes to our kids and having sometimes that ability not to be able to help. However, at the end of the day, we do what we can, and that is why we're here, just to say, hey, we will support you in whatever way is possible.
The silence. This is coming into the schools, and this program was designed by students, and it's a signature program with NAMI, where we talk about mental health, learning the signs and symptoms of mental health. We've had a terrible time, I must say, I've been very frank about this, just getting into the schools to present these programs, which is presented free of cost. And these programs, we talk about mental health, we educate the children as to what signs and symptoms to look for, how to help each other, and how to access resources of the community. And we fight tooth and nail daily to get our programs at the schools. We're still working on it, and we're going to try to get this in.
Grab me.
I certainly will, Nora.
I think the community could help by being a tighter-knit community. I think nowadays people are kind of secluded. I think it's important to have like a sense of unity and kind of come together.
Can you pass the microphone, Danielle?